What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another fresh commentary. Now guys, Overwatch 2 just launched and let me tell you, it was a mess. Functionality wise, the game ran great, and for day one that's impressive, because almost every time a new game comes out in this day and age, there's always some issue, and I had no issues when I was playing this game. Gameplay was so smooth, I love the new graphics, the new UI, and everything seems a bit more balanced, like the characters are all nerfed and you can die more easily in the game, and you can get eliminations easier too. Blizzard did a really good job. Of course, the removal of loot boxes I'm not too much of a fan of. The battle pass system just doesn't really suit Overwatch in my opinion. Makes the level system feel less rewarding now, but it's fine, it's just something new, we'll all get used to it. So the game ran well, no bugs so far, really awesome improvements compared to the last game, but the game only ran well if you managed to get in it. And what I mean by that is the queue times were insane. Like bro, I literally waited 6 hours to get into my first game. I preloaded the game, waited on the Blizzard launcher, and exactly at 3 o'clock I launched up OBS, started streaming because it said I was in line, with only about 100 players in front of me, which is fine, that goes by super fast, that's like a 4-minute wait time. But after that, I was met with a message that I lost connection to the server, and then all of a sudden 80,000 players pop up in front of me. Now, I understand the game just came out, Overwatch 2 has a massive online multiplayer, so of course on day one there's gonna be thousands of players taking in spots in lobbies, so they're not really gonna have space on the game, not to mention the immense amount of traffic when logging in, so that's why we all had to wait in line just to get to the lobby. But it shouldn't be like that. This launch felt like a damn beta. We should already be in a lobby when launching up the game. Then the queue will go on only when trying to get into a game. That would have made it better too, because at least to keep players busy, they can take a look around and see what's new. And it's not much of a big deal waiting for a few thousand players to pass by. But to launch the game after downloading it and be met with this damn screen for over an hour, just to be met with another loading screen is unbelievable. This launch was by far the worst ever. And the last time I experienced this kind of traffic was probably when Cyberpunk 2077 came out. Like that game was a single player game, yet some people couldn't launch it because of how much people were hopping on Steam at the time. So there was crazy traffic, had to wait 2 hours to even open the game, even though like I said it's not a multiplayer game, which is crazy. But this game being a multiplayer game, basically experiencing the exact same thing, kind of made sense, and people were being really patient about the whole thing. But it got to a point where people started to lose their patience and they just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like at least give us something to look at. No, they just want us to sit there and watch the player count go down, only to be met with much more afterwards. And the game forced itself to be full screen too. Like anytime I hit the Windows key to get out and do something out on the side, my entire PC or the application would just crash, meaning I just had to start all over again, which was insane. So I just had to leave the game open and sit there and wait. And when I finally got in, because of the stupid cross progression feature, I kept getting kicked out of the lobby or even games, straight back into queue just because I didn't want to enable my old 9-year-old Xbox Overwatch account that I don't use, and it's still linked up with my PC account. So if you're like me, just a bit of advice, make sure you remove the connections you have before you hop on the game, because that's what screwed me up. And the moment I disabled it, I was finally able to get into a game. But it was fine for a while. It played about 5 rounds until again I got booted offline because I was in the lobby checking out the battle pass. Like it's crazy. They don't even give you time to check out what's new, bro. That means Blizzard will boot you offline, send you back into queue if you don't hop straight into a game, canceling queue and taking your time to equip new skins or buy new stuff will kick you out of Overwatch 2, which is just so stupid. Like even after waiting all that time, player after player, they'll send you right back if you're not playing in the first 5 seconds. This whole thing is just ridiculous. This launch felt like a beta, and I can't believe I waited over 6 hours just to play this damn game. There were times where I just had about 2,000 players ahead of me, and then it'll say connection lost and I'll be back at like 80,000 for the next hour, only for it to happen again. It was a never-ending loop, and honestly it was really demotivating. This game was big, like everyone was all over it yesterday. It was the most streamed game, hit over 1 million concurrent viewers on Twitch, and this issue with the loading times really made people uninterested in the game. Even though it seemed like Overwatch was back and everyone was all about the game again, just like when the original game came out, it felt good. But this queue problem was just too much. Like nobody should have to wait 6 hours to get into a game. Sports games, concerts, those lines probably take less time. And first impressions are really important, especially in the gaming industry. It's impossible to get by right now. Like you really have to impress people, or your game's just gonna die in the first month. Gaming standards are just far too high nowadays. You can't just go by with like a little game and call it a day. It needs to work, we need content constantly, and starting the game like this just makes them look really bad. Of course, the whole time I wasn't just sitting there, I was playing Infamous on my PS5, but the constant hop in and hop out of the window was just too much. It was at 80,000 by 3 o'clock at launch. I waited 2 hours, had 2,000 players ahead of me finally, was about to get in, started my stream, only for it to say I lost connection and add another 78,000 players ahead of me. Like I said before, it's a never-ending loop, and now I get why everyone else is upset. Everyone gave this game a chance and now they're just ditching it. And it hasn't even been a week. This whole thing is just absolutely absurd. Like, what the heck? They didn't have enough servers open? Blizzard did know how big the game's launch was gonna be, right? Seemed like they did have the budget too, but they didn't put all of it into the servers because clearly they didn't have enough. I don't know any other game that went through this, man. Like, if you try to go into quick play, that would make sense. A lot of people trying to connect to a game, but to be stuck in the title screen, nah, that's just crazy. You're not even on the game yet. You're still logging in. I don't know, man. This whole thing is just making everyone demotivated to even play the game now. We're on like the 3rd day and it's still not fixed. Really hope this gets fixed by Friday at least. Like, go into the weekend strong, because if not, this game is gonna lose all of the impressions they just got. Like, everyone's giving this crap a chance and they're just letting us down. With the old players from Overwatch 1 and a bunch of new players coming to the game, this whole thing could have been so big if it weren't for this issue. Some streamers who don't even play the game wanted to give it a chance too, but ditched it once they saw the load times. So this completely ruined everyone's experience with Overwatch 2. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this and share my experience on the whole thing. Everyone is just shocked about how long it takes to try and play this game now. This whole thing is just a complete joke now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you have to wait as long as I did? Leave a like for more, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, stay blue.